you remember something called the star universe theory? Do you remember? Where we took the body and we split it up into, actually we took the entire body, the brain, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, everything, and I told you how God's universe has been mapped out on the human body. And the entire thing was happening there. So that was all fine, and you've got that. And why that kind of thing is good as a teaching is because it always helps you to remember the map. It's something visual. And if you ever forgot exactly what's happening, you can look, okay, the brain was Sat, Chit was the right eye, Ananda was the left eye, then they went down, then they met at Chitta, that made the heart, then one positive pole and negative. So it's really helpful like that, and then the poles in between come in the middle. So that's nice, and I'm glad that we've got that teaching in our heads now at Chikri. But then I went for the hand, just by itself, right? So when I'm going to teach you about the hand, and I'll have to go onto the board with this in a few moments, hopefully you all can see okay. What we have in just the hand are the 24 elements, according to Chikri's theory. So I'm not going to refer this back to any ancient science, but Chikri is getting its own sciences as well, its own theories, like the Star Universe theory, which we put together as a modern kind of expression. But according to this theory, I've found to see that the human hand contains the 24 elements of creation and a lot of secrets, and also a great way to remember things, which is also quite useful. So what we have in the human hand here, in this palm area, and I'm still developing as a theory, so do give me your mercy if I'm working out in my head as I'm speaking to you as well. But what we have here in the hand is Chitta. So what we remember in the hand here is Chitta. Alright? So remember what Chitta is? Chitta is the soul which is encased in Maya. I'm going to draw you a diagram as well on the board, in which you can photograph, but feel free to make your own edit notes. The soul encapsulated in Maya is known as Chitta. What we also have in this area here is the jiva, the ahamkara, the ego. So wherever the chitta is, there's always that. Because it's closed off, it creates immediately sense of individuality. So two things, chitta and ego. Okay, chitta, soul trapped in Maya, and ahamkara, ego, in the palm. Now, what then happens is this. So immediately from this point, when Chitta is created, you're going to get two poles. Alright? So you're going to get a positive pole and a negative pole. So we keep the positive pole, the ether pole is the thumb. The positive pole is the thumb, and this is traditionally the way it's seen as well. The ether pole, the mind pole is the thumb, and the negative pole is the little finger, the earth pole if you like. And I'll put this all on the board again. So sattvic is the thumb, tamasic is the little finger, positive is the thumb, negative is little finger. And these are two poles of the magnet that's created from Chitta. In the middle, of course, we have to have the neutral pole. So the middle finger becomes a rajasic pole, the neutral pole. Then the Pancha Tattwa is that. So then you have the two poles in the middle. And then you have Pancha Tattwa here, the 5 poles of creation. The first pole that is drawn back to God is the positive pole. Other thing to remember on these poles is that the positive pole is Buddhi, isn't it? Positive pole is Buddhi. Because the mind is split into two. Buddhi is wisdom, positive discrimination. The negative pole is mind, manas. Only focus on the world. Interestingly, you'll notice that you have 5 chakras on here as well. So the 5 chakras will run, I'll come back to that later, but just which is the ring finger? This one? Mm-hmm. So which pole is this? If this one is earth, which is this one? Water. So if this one is earth and it's the last chakra, what chakra is this one? Second one. Name? Svadhisthana chakra. And what does it deal with?
Relationships.
Relationships. The water chakra and creative organs. So the ring finger is placed here. At the very base of it. So this is stimulating the love current, positive energy, relationships. Then what happens from here is the three worlds are given in the hand as well. So you have your Chitta here, you have the Pancha Karma coming out, Pancha Tattwa coming out. Now the fingers can split into three sections. Look at your hand. Even your thumb, you'll have, most of us on the thumb, you'll notice most of us on the thumb, but certainly on all your fingers you've got three cut sections, right? Many of them are cut by knuckles. The only one that is questionable is the thumb. But still the thumb, and I've checked this on a few people, but I need to check more. It should have two lines near the base. One that divides the palm from the thumb, and one which is similar to the second line here. So now there is a division in the fingers. The thumb, as I said, you should have three. Some people have the knuckles, you can see another knuckle area here. But these three divisions are what's coming out of, this is interesting, what's coming out of Chitta as it goes into the Pancha Tattwa are three worlds as it gets deeper. So the first world is represented in the first line of the causal realm. So the first line here is the causal world. And from the first knuckle, the base knuckle, to the first rim here is the causal world. The second patch here, in between the top section and the second section, is the astral world. And the final section at the top is the physical world. Yeah? Causal, astral, physical.
So is it the spaces in between or the actual
yes,
lines?
The spaces in between. The spaces in between are the worlds. The physical world is represented by the fingernails. The physical world. So as well as the physical world being at the top, it's also given that with the solid fingernails there, it represents solidity, the mass. So as the vibrations get thinner to the bottom, then you have hard nail, representing our physical world. Along with this, the magnetic currents that offshoot from each of the Pancha Tattva. Remember what happens in creation. This is magnetized, right? Chitta is a magnetized force and it creates the poles. And then there's a force field in between that creates the Pancha Tattva. And then each of the 5 poles is then remagnetized, if you remember. Because it's in this force field, they get remagnetized. So for every pole, this is how we get our senses. For every single pole, there's a positive, neutral, and negative offshoot. So for example, for the positive pole, you'll have a sense organ, you'll have an action, and then you'll have an object. Okay? So the sense organs, the Jnanendriyas, are represented on the causal realm because they're the finest of them. So sense organs, Jnanendriyas, are also in the causal sphere. This energy line that you've got here, this space is for the Jnanendriyas, this first bit. So the senses of the organs, the origin of the sense of the organs will be in this first section here. The Karmendriyas will be in the middle part, and the Tanmatras will be represented in the physical realm. The Tanmatras are objects. So you can see clearly the difference between, the gross difference between an organ, which is a fine instrument, and the grossness of an object. So the causal realm will contain the organs because they're finer ideas, and then these are the instruments and actions, and then the top part will be the physical part, which is the objects. So the Tanmatras. To create these 24 elements of creation, you have the final part, which is that man does not contain Tanmatras. So if you remember back to your metaphysics, you know that when God created man, he didn't place the object that man desired within himself. He placed it in the universe. So if man desires carrot, he has to find it in the universe, and that's what creates the bond. Okay? But what he did instead with man, for that to supplement the functionality of the object, he gave us extra energies called pranas. So he gave us 5 pranas. And the 5 pranas sit in the hand as well. So the 5 pranas work very, very easily with the poles once again. So with the positive pole is prana, the prana of prana. And coming back simply with the negative pole, the prana of apana. So the tamasic pole relates to the prana of apana. The positive pole relates to the prana of prana, pure prana, energy. And now you'll understand the final part of this. Now you see, the air pole, which is next to the ether pole, is vyana, which is circulation, and it's air. Coming back to the baser poles, we'll start with the ring finger first, samana. So the ring finger is samana, which is dealing with the lower functions of the body. And the middle finger is udana, movements coming upwards. So I'll go through those again. So the thumb is prana, the index finger is vyana. When you refer to your notes, you'll start to understand the explanations. The middle finger is udana, the ring finger is samana, and as we go lower to the base of the body, the apana current is the evacuating current at the base of the body, and it is the ring finger, tamas. What you have now, when you understand this, is you have the entire 24 elements, 24 elders that are written about in the Bible, in the book of Revelations. If you remember, I need to talk to you more about that one day. But in the Yoga scriptures, it says there are 24 elements that create, the Yoga Sutras, the oldest Yoga scriptures, it says there are 24 elements that create, that are the creation of creation, including man and creation, can summarize in 24 pieces. And that theory goes into the Bible, book of Revelations, where God is saying there are 24 elders that control the universe. And I'll talk to you more about this when we get to CKP on religion. And if you know anything about the Bible, it says also there are 4 beasts in the center, the 24 elders, which are the 4 elements of Maya. 4 elements of Maya. Vibration, vibration, atom, time and space. Those are the 4 beasts. Okay? So again, I'm showing you Christianity and...
This is in the book of Revelation.
Book of Revelation. So the teaching today is that all of that sits in one hand. One human hand is given according to Chikri theory. My discovery in meditation is this is the revelation. That everything is sitting in your hand. So now all you need to do is remember that, okay? But every day I make it easier for you because now it's in your hand. You just have to look at your hand and you'll see everything is there. Now if you give me a moment, I'm going to draw it on the board. And you can ask questions while I'm doing that. And see the hand here, just one more thought. The first hand, when you pray, that's going to go to the Chitta, which is going to take you to God, is going to be your positive pole. So even when you pray, God has it arranged that the correct part of your body is going to the Chitta. Your Chitta is here, and it's the thumbs that come first. So let's see if you can help me now. Right, so I'm going to draw in here. See if you can fill all this in for me. Oops. Okay, what am I putting here? And? I'm going to write ego, so now you all know ahamkara. Okay, now what should I do next? Tell me what I should do.
Thumb is the positive.
Okay, so let's go with that. Let's start with the thumb as a positive.
Negative is the negative.
Yeah?
Neutral. Middle finger.
Neutral. Should we just put the plus to neutral here? And minus to that there. Now what else?
Can you draw the lines?
You want to put the lines in? Okay, so I'm going to do this now, okay? So I'm going to draw the knuckle line here, and I'm going to draw the second line here, and I'm going to draw the third line here. Alright, now what do you want to do? We've got the Buddhi, right? So one part of our brain is on which side? Where's Buddhi?
Thumb.
Oh, the positive part. So Buddhi is here, and therefore Manas is here. Good. And what else do I do?
We've got the elements.
Elements.
Yeah.
Should we talk more about not so much the elements. What were we talking more about? The pranas, the sense organs, the world. Let's do the worlds next. So which is the causal world? The base. So we can go causal, and then we can go astral, and then we can go physical at the top. And what was it about the physical world that was interesting?
The nails.
Nails. Representing earth. Nails for earth. Solidity. Okay, what else goes on?
The pranas.
The pranas. So let's go. Which one is on the positive part? Prana.
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 Little finger is apana.
Little finger is prana. And then,
Ring finger is samana.
which one?
Ring finger is samana.
Ring finger is samana. And middle finger
Udana.
and top finger. Other one? Dhyana. I'm going to put the chakras in here just so you can hold them close to you. So here we're going to put, this is relating. So we're talking about 5 chakras represented on this. Yeah. So the 5th chakra, if we were doing 5 chakras, which one would the Atman one be? I'm going to write root here. And this one? What do we? Yeah, let's use a simple English term. Simple English term. Creative. We normally put the creative chakras. We're creating relationships. We're creating children. It's all creating kind of things here. And the middle finger we can call that? Fire chakra is good. And we can call this one heart. Good. And as we remember, the next one is the throat chakra. These are simple terms to use. Now what else is missing from this chart now? What else? From what we said? What about the organs of...
Tanmatras.
Yeah, so the Tanmatras at the top, right? So I'm going to write that in between. Tanmatras will go to the top line. And the Jnanendriyas will be in the middle section, and the Jnanendriyas, the higher functions, will sit at the base here. So the 24, now let's see if the maths works out. The 24 should be the Jnanendriyas, the Karmendriyas, and the Tanmatras. There's 5 of each of those. So this is what is counting towards the 24. This, and this. We have different concepts in here, but the things that will count for count to the actual 24 elements that are spoken about are here. 5, 5, 5. There's one thing missing from this chart still. Oh no, the pranas are there, right? Okay, so the pranas, collectively the pranas will equal another 5. And then Chitta will equal 1, Ahamkara will equal 2, this mind will equal 3, and Buddhi will equal 4. So those 24 items I've just picked out are what are known as the 24 elements that create creation. And I'll just check this text to make sure. I'll go through it again, Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, can we take a picture of course?
Yeah, I will do. So this is in the Yoga Sutras. The translation talks about the aforesaid 5 objects, which are the Tanmatras. I won't go through this in too much detail. Composed, turning into solids, liquid, gas. But these are not inside the body, so they're replaced by the 5 pranas, together with manas, the mind, buddhi, intelligence, chitta, the heart, power of feeling, and ahamkara, the ego, make the 24 basic principles of creation. This is the holy science. And then it goes on to talk about the Bible as well, and the 24 elders in the Bible. So that's that. So we go through it again. Your human hand, chitta, and ego. Here at the base. The basic poles, positive and negative. And then all the other poles in between, neutral and the sheaths in between. Your causal world, first section. Astral world, second section. Physical world, last section. Then the causal world, the Jnanendriyas, because they relate to the causal function, final functions. Then the Karmendriyas in the astral world. And then in the physical world, the Tanmatras. And because the physical world cannot be, the objects are not in man, you have pranas, 5 pranas. So the 5 pranas are now relating to the fact that we've got 5 poles, and the 5 poles relate to the 5 chakras in the human, they create the 5 chakras in the human being. They will now contain the pranas, and relating to each prana, from prana to apana to the lowest one. And they sit there now. That's it. That's it.
I just wanted to ask you, you've got 2 where the ego is. Is that ahamkara and jiva?
In summary, they're referring to jiva.
Jiva.
They're referring to jiva as being the one of the sense of individuality. I think it's a combination of the 2. So I'm writing ego here, but I would suggest you write jiva and ahamkara, my opinion, my humble opinion, that it's a combination. So now, ring finger in the heart chakra. Now one day I'll get this drawn up a little bit neater. I'll get it. That's one reason I'll never get married, because I just get the wrong finger.
So the 5 elements would be also go back. So if the fire is at the middle finger, and the earth is on.
Correct. 5 elements with this. If you want to write the 5 elements, they'll sit. So the Pancha Tattwa makes the 5 elements. The Pancha Tattwa makes the 5 actions, the organs. Pancha Tattwa makes your colours. Pancha Tattwa makes everything. Everything starts with 5. In our creative universe, it all begins with 5. The Pancha Tattwa are the root of everything. And remember, these higher chakras, the Ajna chakra and the crown chakra, they're kind of descension chakras. They're coming down. The physical realm really starts down here. You can see that, right? From this throat, above the throat, this is all very high organs of sense. They're much more spiritual. The eyes, this is why the senses sit here and why the Jnanendriyas are put in the causal realm, because they're much finer functioning. Down here, things start to get gross. So you can see that the line of the body, see what's happening, right? Throat down, everything is happening. Above here, it's different realm. Neck is the bridge.
You're going to send out a
Photograph. Although I'm sure you guys would do a better diagram than me. And it's both the same on both hands.